when COVID hits and I don't have work, or I had a 2 years where my dad had a crazy brain injury and I had to walk through that with him in hospitals and teach him to walk again and teach him to eat again and all these things. I didn't know that was going to get thrown upon me. And at that moment, when I didn't have a mortgage on my house, I didn't have any car payments, I didn't have any credit card debt, I was like, thank you for insisting that I be that kind of investor
Yeah.
because I got no fear. Like everything's easy, even when it's hard on other people, because I'm not leveraged to the point where I have to figure out how to make those payments. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I get a lot of guff about that, but that's actually one of the things I take pride in about like the way I have followed that path, because I don't think God wants us to borrow it,
No.
the yeah, I it the it just it causes stress, it causes divorce, it causes all the things.
Absolutely. Yeah. And truly, it's like he was using your entire life to prepare you for all of that. Right. So I love that. Such a beautiful perspective for
The
sure.
the borrower is slave to the lender just repeats itself in my head.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I have to laugh too, because I don't know, like you said, I don't know if you know my previous life, right? My
I do.
previous thing, I was a CPA.
Oh,
So
okay. I see
one of the
this.
jokes, yes, exactly. So one of the jokes we always had was what's one plus one?
Yeah.
And we would say, what do you want it to be? Because
Yeah.
we were
Yeah.
auditors and we were doing the financial statements. And so I still use that with even my 9-year-old said it
That's
today. He's
funny.
one plus one, mommy. And I go, what do you want it to be? And he's like, so I'm like, sorry, accounting joke. That's from way, way, way many years ago.
You've seen all the things then. You understand what's really happening in
Oh,
people's
yeah.
financials. Like it's crazy because the highlight reels on, online make it look like all these people have all this money. And then when they actually trust you enough to open up and be like, hey, just kidding, here's the real scenario. And it just makes me want to go educate, because um being in the influencer world that some of my friends are in, I had one of my good friends came to me and she's like, hey, I want you to walk me through this, I need to learn the wealth building, like I know how to make the money, I don't know what to do with it. And I'm like, all right, deal, but if we walk through this, I want you to be 1,000% authentic and really tell your audience
Yeah.
what's real,
Yeah.
because they're getting so much fake out there online.
Mhm.
And it's hard for people to make decisions for themselves if they don't even know what reality really looks like. And I don't know. I think it's super important for people out there with influence like that to really be authentic about what's really going on with money, because
Yeah.
that's how you lead people, that's how they connect with you. And they're like, oh my gosh, she understands me.
Oh, 100%. That's one of the biggest things is kind of like a theme over these past couple years of, like building is sharing from the messy middle. And,
Yeah.
just talking about the hard, I mean, yeah, especially at the live events that we've had, I mean, we laid stuff out there. And every single mentor that I worked with previously, that like I came in to their world when they were at a certain point. And every single one of them said, I wish I would have shared more when I
Yeah.
was messy middle. So it's
Yeah.
just that encouragement for anybody who is in that and you are in that space, like talk about it. People
Yeah.
relate to that. They relate
Yeah.
to vulnerability. They relate to the messy middle and the challenges and everything. And then we also get to then grow together and move toward that. So,
That's where the impact is made. I feel like when you stand on a stage and you inspire, that's different than when you walk with them and you share the real struggles. That's where impact is made, is where you're walking hand in hand